That is just a little reprieve to last week's video. Shout out to HP Music and Arts for the shirt and for the cardigan. It was 5 years ago on yesterday's date, December 13th, 2016, that I made my venture down the New York Thruway to Interstate 95, to Interstate 295, 395, 495, all of them, to Interstate 64 to make my new home, my new residency in the state of Virginia. It was actually that's actually my first home that I remember when I lived in Fort Belvoir, Virginia, which is upstate, about 3 hours away. So it felt like home, but it was still different. And it was right over there in that building that I made my stop to start my journey in this area. 17 long hours on the bus. Never again. Never again. You can't get me on nobody's bus for a long period of time. I might have to take a bus, but not for long. If it's a long period of time, if I can't walk, if I can't drive or be in somebody's car or SUV or truck, if I can't get on a plane, if I can't get on a train, I'm not going nowhere, because I'm not getting on nobody's bus. No more. I won't say ever, because never say never. But right now, can't get me on nobody's bus. Not after that track. No. Anyway, to live at that time in Virginia Beach. I'm not in Virginia Beach right now. Right now, I'm in Norfolk. I was starting a new decade in life. I had just celebrated my third decade of life in the place that I was born, Hawaii. So that was kind of a first. It was my first time going back. So this last 5 years has brought a lot of firsts. I'll get to those a little later. But since living down here, I have lived in 4, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 different cities. No, 3 different cities. Soon to be 4. Yeah, when I first moved down here, I was living in Virginia Beach with my cousins. Shout out to Tia and Justin and Joshua at the time. Shout out to Josiah. But yeah, those was my hanging buddies when I first came down here. Especially Joshua. We went everywhere together. That was my buddy. That was my hanging buddy. But then we moved to Chesapeake, and then I spread my wings a little further on my own, and I moved to Portsmouth, Virginia, and that was my longest tenure of living in one city at a time. I lived in Portsmouth for 2 years. And as I've talked about before, that is the city where my grandmother and my great-grandmother were born. So that is a blessing that I got to live there. I still go there frequently because I go to church there. Shout out to St. Mark Missionary Baptist Church and the media ministry and the whole everybody. Just shout out to St. Mark in Portsmouth, Virginia, on Frederick Boulevard. But yeah. As I said soon before, funny how things work out full circle. It will be soon come that I will be living in Norfolk. Funny how things change and how mindsets change and decisions change, because I try my hardest not to live in Norfolk because I hate driving in Norfolk. But I found a place and I'm excited. I'm excited for this new abode that I will be having. I've had a lot of firsts. I alluded to one a little earlier. It was my first time paying my rent on my own by myself, just hitting the pavement, working. Thank God for that. And that's when I moved to Portsmouth. I got my first car after getting my license finally. Got my first car, lost my first car. Shout out to Berg. It would be, well, I'll talk about that next week. So tune in next week. Yeah, next week. Tune in to next week to hear about the story of Berg. It was the first time that I fell in love, for real, and everything that goes along with that. I've met some of my favorite people here in Virginia Beach. I live with one of them right now. Shout out to Alicia! Yeah, this journey, it's been an interesting one. Living here in Hampton Roads as a Howard graduate. Anyway, but yeah, I've loved this. I've loved living down here. I love that I'm right in the middle of my parents. Mom's 9 hours away, Dad's 9 hours away. DC was just 3 hours, depending on where you go, 3 hours away, which is a city that I love. It's not too far away, so I'm accessible. I'm accessible to everything I love and everything I want to be accessible to. Just a car ride away. And yeah, since August 5th, well, really since October 13th, 2017, and having my car, even after losing Berg, now I have daylight. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. I love driving. I love getting out and going. That's what I do for work now. I drive. I talked about it a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, there's so much I could say, but I just don't have the right words to say about what living here has meant to me. I've been up, I've been down, I've been up and I've been down, but it's all working out for my good, and I am looking forward to seeing how I thrive, continue to thrive, now at 35. It's everything is not like I've said it before. Everything is not like I would like it to be. Everything's not like it could be. Everything is like it should be, I guess. And everything, like I said, will work out. I just have to be patient. I just have to have, at this time, a Merry Christmas. And just live life in the daylight. Despite it all. So yeah, I know it might feel like I'm jabbering and gibbering, but I guess I'm reflecting in my head and trying to think if there's anything else I need to say, I want to say. Just shout out to everybody that I've met over my time here. Because you've made me the person I am today. I'm stronger. I'm wiser. I'm better. Much better. No, I'm not going to sing every video now. I just feel like singing. When I look back over all you brought me through, I realize you're the one I can hold on to. And I never would have made it. Let me stop before I cry. I never would have made it without you. I would have lost it all. But now I see how you were there for me. And some things I'm like, why? But not my thoughts, his thoughts, not my ways, his ways, definitely not my will, his will, and it will work out all for me. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Tia. Thanks, Justin, for inviting me down here. Thank you for opening that door and opening, and it was the door to many other open doors. And just 4 months ago, it looked like I didn't know where I was going to be. But I thank you to Life Touch for opening that door for me to be able to come back down here. So yeah. I could sit here all day and talk about as things come to my mind and tell you what I'm thinking. But I know you don't have that time. I don't have that time. But I could make the time if I wanted to. But I got to go make this money. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be the daylight in someone else's life. And enjoy the daylight in yours. See you next week.